Welcome back to Common Sense, Logic, and Reason today. As we all know that there seems to be a never-ending shortage of cries of racism in America. It's just never ending. But what actually is racism? The real meaning of racism? Well, that's what we're going to discuss today. Now, in today's America, you basically have two meanings of racism. You have the real definition, the real meaning of racism, and we have the revised meaning of racism. The real meaning of racism is basically an inherent belief in superiority based upon race, or someone believes that they're inherently superior because of their race, or somebody else is inherently inferior because of their race. This is the real meaning of racism. So, an example would be the whole master race, Aryan nation nonsense that was out of Nazi Germany. That would be racism. Or this idea that blacks are superior athletes, or white people don't have any rhythm, or Chinese people can't drive. These are all examples of racism or racist ideology. And for the most part, it's pretty pointless. And that's pretty much the gist of the real definition of racism. Now the fun part, the revised meaning of racism. Now this came to us from Dr. Martin Luther King, which I disagree with him on this. And according to Dr. King, racism is privilege with the power to be able to enforce it. Now this is often used by black people as an excuse to be able to, or an escape clause to be able to be racist, while you can't be racist because we don't have any quote unquote power. Well, what power? Am I to believe that all white people, quote unquote, wield this magical power? That all white people are, have these magic wands that they just wave every time they want to, quote unquote, affect someone's life? If you have a white person flipping burgers at McDonald's and you have a black person flipping burgers at McDonald's, how does the white person have this power but the black person doesn't? If you have a white person who's a door greeter at Walmart and the black person is a door greeter at the other door, how exactly is the white person powerful but the black person not? It doesn't make any sense at all. Now, secondly, if the definition of, or the meaning of racism is going to be privilege with the power to affect in someone's life, then that means that racism is completely, totally relative. Because a person who can affect your life can't necessarily affect somebody else's life. Your employer can affect your life. They can hire you, they can fire you, they can cut your hours, they can give you a raise. All of which impacts your life, or it affects your life. But how does your employer affect the life of somebody who doesn't work for them? And by the way, for 8 years, that means that the most racist person on the planet was a black man, that being Barack Obama, because I can't think of a job title that has more power to affect people's lives than the President of the United States. And I guess in that regard, Donald Trump really is a racist, being the President of the United States. But again, if you ever hear a black person say, well, I can't be racist because I don't have any power, well, now you know, and knowing is half the battle. Until next time.